know you want to plan a surprise birthday party but aren't quite sure how to pull it off and keep it a surprise? Don't worry, we've got great tips for you. Joining us with party planning tips is Jill Monson, the Chief Inspiration Officer at Inspired Marketing. Jill, you're also one of the top 25 women. You're the event planner of Western Mass, so we're fortunate to have you. Thanks for being here. So, planning a surprise party can cause some anxiety for people because they're afraid they're going to let the cat out of the bag or someone else will. Got a lot of tips to go through. Let's start with planning. What's the most important thing?
Well, first of all, I think you need to make sure the person you're throwing the party for actually likes surprise parties. Because if you plan it and they hate them, then you're sort of at problem number one. The most important thing and the hardest thing, anybody who knows me will laugh when I say this, but is keep it quiet. Zip it. Don't talk about it. Don't email about it at home if it's for someone in the house, because somehow with modern technology it will leak out. So rule number one is zip it. Rule number two is zip it.
And don't forget it. And make sure they want a surprise party.
Exactly.
And they won't get mad at you. You also want to have an accomplice.
Yes, that's the fun part, I think, is finding that person that likes to, kind of sneak around with you. And it's great because an accomplice means that they can store the surprise items at their house. If you have any decorations, maybe they can collect the RSVPs. Again, separating yourself out gives you the chance to not have any slip-ups. And of course, they can help you make sure the person ends up there on time. If you're going to be at the party, you want to be jumping up and saying surprise. The accomplice can help get the honoree there.
Right, and also it's important to remember, very important, dress code.
Yeah,
dressed appropriately.
This is something I was talking before I came on, and people were like, really, dress code? But think about it. If you just put out an invitation that says party, and people all come in, cocktail dresses, and the guest of honor shows up in jeans, then they might feel a little, underdressed. So you want to make sure you outline that in the invitation. And speaking of the invitation, make it crystal clear it's a surprise. Leave it no room for interpretation. Use the word surprise in large font.
Or don't open your mouth. Like, be very, because sometimes you do get an invitation like, is it a surprise?
Yeah.
You want to make it clear.
Exactly.
Yeah, so no one gives it away. Okay, we want to talk about the day of. So the party's here. What are the things you have to remember?
Well, I think that one of the common things that people forget about is the cars. So when the guest of honor gets there and their best friend's car is parked out front and they see the bumper sticker and they go, why is Jane here? Park the cars on the next street over, maybe help out if there's any older guests, getting them a ride over to the house, but making sure the cars are far away from where they need to be. And making sure that guests arrive at least a half an hour early. At least, maybe even an hour early, so that there's no oops, and they show up at the driveway at the same time. We've all got those friends and relatives who don't show up on time.
This is not the day to be late.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, you want to capture that moment, the surprise moment.
You want to have somebody there whose one job it is to have the camera ready as they walk in, because you can never recreate that moment.
No, that's true. You've got to capture it. How do you help to keep it a secret?
I think that the first thing would be try to be unique and maybe not have it on the annual. So a lot of people, 30, 40, 50, 60, those round numbers is when the party is planned. So shake it up a bit and have it on 43 or 36 or 52, because they're not expecting it. When you're getting ready to turn 50, you're like, what are the kids going to throw me? And just have a regular old party. And then on 52, blow it out of the world and shock them. Maybe even plan a fake party. So let them know on X day, we're going to have a get together, 6 o'clock, pizza, cake, whatever. And really, you've got this real party going on a different day. Go through with the fake pizza party. Have a few guests over. Then they're totally think their birthday's over.
I got my party.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's a good one. That's great. Now, Jill, you've got about 30 seconds, almost out of time. We're going to move ahead to different party ideas. You've got a lot of them. We'll put them on our website.
All right.
I want to talk about the table for two.
This one is so great. This is for the person that might not like a big surprise, might have the moment. So you rent out a restaurant or a part of a restaurant. Ask them to seat you guys first when you get there in the middle. The rest of the tables are empty. Then a few minutes later, another couple gets sat, happens to be your friends. Another table gets sat, happens to be your friends. Before you know it, there's 20 couples all sat around you, and they all look at you and go, surprise.
I love that.
And then that person doesn't have a heart attack, so it's much better.
That's true, or they're really confused. Wow, how did this happen? We're all here at dinner the same night.
What a irony.
Yeah, I think that's great for someone that doesn't like that surprise. The great ideas. There's so many more. They'll be on our website, mymassappeal.com. Jill, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Always nice.